Newcastle United got the Premier League's Boxing Day festivities underway, losing 3-1 to Nottingham Forest at St James's Park. But what did Eddie Howe say?
Yeah, difficult game for us. I thought we mixed performance, really. Some good in the first half. A lot of good, actually. A lot of good build-up play, probably until the final third, and then just the final bit missing. The rhythm not quite there. Second half was a little bit more difficult. I think we lost our way a little bit, and they grew into the game and became more of a transitional threat.
You took the lead in the first half, but then conceded on the stroke of half-time. How difficult was conceding at that point, and given the more of a control you had in that first half?
Yeah, I think the first goal we conceded is a cruel moment for us because, as you say, bang on half-time. The difference between 1-0 and 1-1 at that moment in momentum is big. And we're inches away possibly from making it 2-0 for us, and then we get caught with a sucker punch, but we only have to look at ourselves and blame ourselves for that moment. And yeah, I think it was probably a key moment in the game looking back now.
Chris Wood, he completed his hat-trick in the second half. Forest were tough to deal with on the break and transitions during that game. How difficult, how disappointing was it to concede those goals in that manner? Because it's unlike the defence this season.
Yeah, I think we haven't probably been as good defensively as we've wanted to be in recent weeks. So, changes to our back four today. I don't think we look totally secure, but we'll have to look and analyse why. And as always, that's probably the best way to look at it.
In the match itself, in attack, Newcastle United had the higher XG and expected threat. But their defensive performance revealed vulnerabilities both in terms of coping with attacking midfielders and the lack of pace in their defensive line. Against Forest, Newcastle struggled to contain their opponents on the break. Forest's manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, deployed a bold 4-2-3-1 formation, and Newcastle's difficulties in picking up with attacking number 10 midfielders were evident, particularly Morgan Gibbs-White, who consistently found spaces to exploit. Another significant threat came from Anthony Elanga, the former Manchester United winger, who was positioned on the right flank instead of his usual left-wing role. Elanga's pace caused problems for Newcastle defenders Dan Burn and Sven Botman. Newcastle's defensive line has been disrupted by injuries, leading to frequent changes in personnel. Against Forest, manager Eddie Howe was able to field his preferred back four of Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, and Dan Burn for only the 6th time this season, and the first time since September 24th. However, the lack of consistent playing time together seemed to affect their performance, as they appeared rusty. The absence of goalkeeper Nick Pope also had an impact on Newcastle's defense. Martin Dubravka, while capable, is less comfortable playing as a sweeper keeper. Without Pope's ability to rush off his line, a significant gap has emerged between the defense and the goalkeeper, which opposing teams can exploit. Addressing these issues and establishing a consistent defensive unit will be crucial for the team to improve their defensive stability. Regardless of the overall result, Lewis Miley had an outstanding match. At just 17 years old, Miley demonstrated a level of comfort on the Premier League stage that is rarely seen in players of his age. Miley made significant contributions to the team's build-up play, showcasing his ability to carry the ball and make an impact in the final third. His football intelligence was on display throughout the match, making smart decisions and displaying a high understanding of the game. One notable moment involving Miley was his reverse pass in the build-up to a play involving Alexander Isak. This play resulted in opposition player Ola Aina sticking out a foot, disrupting Isak's attempt to latch on to the ball. Miley's involvement in this sequence ultimately led to Newcastle being awarded a penalty, which resulted in their goal. Against Forest, Miley played 90 minutes, had 55 touches, 38 out of 40 passing, 95% passing accuracy, 1 key pass, 1 shot on target, 2 shots off target, 2 shots blocked, 2 out of 2 successful dribbles, and 3 ground duels won. Another player who looked lively was Alexander Isak, who not only won but scored the penalty. Alexander Isak in the first half against Nottingham Forest had an 83% pass accuracy, 19 touches, 10 out of 12 passes completed, 2 out of 2 ground duels won, 2 fouls won, 1 penalty won, 1 goal, which was his first goal since the 28th November when he scored away to PSG in the Champions League. also meaning that he has scored 8 Premier League goals this season, more than any other Newcastle player, and has now scored more Premier League goals, 18, than Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 17. All in all, as Alan Shearer said, brilliant Forest, shocking Newcastle. As for the first time in the competition's history, Nottingham Forest have won a Premier League game against Newcastle United. Mean Newcastle have lost the most matches on Boxing Day of any side in English League history, 47, and have now won just one of their last 5 Premier League games.
Kieran, how much does that result, the performance, hurt you and hurt the players today?
Yeah, obviously it's very tough. You know, first half we was in control, but on the flip side, that's always a dangerous thing because of the players that they've got. You know, on the transition, they're very good. And as always, you know, in football, if they score just before half time, it changes things. And you know, us as players, we know 5 seconds into the second half, it's a bit unacceptable that they nearly score from that action. So yeah, we know we can do better. Myself included. You know, the standard that we've set throughout the 18 months, we've come away from them a little bit the past few games, but you know, stick together. That's the most important thing.
It all started so well after Alex's penalty. Can you quite put your finger on what went wrong after that?
No, not really. No, like I said, you know, 44 minutes into the first half, we played very well. You know, we had a lot of opportunities. We need to be clinical. And you always have to be aware of the opposition, you know. Like I said before, they're very good on the transition, and I think that's where 2 of the 3 goals came from today. But yeah, now we have a couple of days rest now before I think it's the Liverpool game, to regroup and, as I said before, stay together.
I know this is a side that doesn't make excuses at all, but after 10 games in 31, did it feel like 10 games in 31 days out there a little bit?
Yeah, of course. It's, you know, it's a lot of games, obviously, being in Europe, and it's been a challenge for the club. You know, it's been an experience. You know, majority of the players are not used to playing in the Champions League. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's, like I said, it's been a challenge for the team. You know, ultimately, we've got to respect that we've had a lot of injuries, but you know, the lads have given everything they have, and they've worked hard for each other. But you know, we got to start the second half of the season strong.
With a trip to Anfield and then a first Wear-Tyne derby since 2016 to come next, Newcastle desperately need a refresh. Injuries and fatigue have ravaged Howe's squad, and it is obvious reinforcements must arrive next month, and quickly. Although there are a few areas in need of strengthening, the priority surely must be in attack. In the game itself, there were plenty of good moments, but execution was lacking, Almiron in particular. Miguel Almiron was laboring in front of goal. Anthony Gordon risks being flogged due to a lack of alternatives, while Isak and Callum Wilson are too often injured. An injection of something new is required to rescue Newcastle's campaign. So if you want to know the latest Newcastle United transfer news, click the video on your screen now.